Hi Yogi, it's Heather, and today's Backbend themed class is focused on opening up the heart and the hips. So grab a couple blocks if you have them, and let's just jump right on in today. When you're ready, I'll meet you in a seated position. Come to meet me in seated, bringing in one foot and then the other, or crisscross, whatever you prefer. And take both hands, inhale, up to the sky. Now grab a hold of your left elbow with your right hand here. Give it a gentle pull. And now let's switch. So grabbing a hold of your right elbow with your left hand. On an exhale, release both hands to the floor. Keep right hand on the floor here and inhale to lift those left fingertips up overhead. Maybe look up. Exhale, float that left hand down. Inhale, send it to the other side. Looking up towards the ceiling here. Exhale, float it down. And from here, take your left sole to the floor and slide the right one underneath to come to the outside of that left hip here. Now cross the left foot over the right thigh. Inhale, send right hand up to the sky, and exhale, hook it over that knee. Sending left fingertips behind you and looking back for a little twist. With every inhale, find a little length, and every exhale, maybe twisting a little bit deeper. Gently untwist. Come to untwist the legs too. Now slide the left sole underneath the right, coming to the outside of the right hip here, and crossing the right foot over the left leg. Inhale, left fingertips come up. Exhale, twist. Making sure that you're twisting mostly with your core here and not so much pushing yourself with your elbow. Come undone here, uncross the legs, and come to meet me in a tabletop position. So taking your shoulders directly over your wrists and your hips directly over your knees. Spread those fingers wide, and let's move through some cat-cows together to start really tuning into the breath here. So inhale, drop the belly. Exhale, draw that chin in, back of the neck long. Inhale, opening up through the heart. Exhale, rounding the back. Moving in your own time here. On the inhales, dropping the stomach, and on the exhales, chin in, rounding the back. Great. Come to a neutral tabletop. So bring your blocks out in front of you now, if you do have them. If you don't, that's okay. You can take a normal puppy pose here. We're going to take our elbows, place them on the blocks, bring our hands to prayer hands, and melt our chest towards the floor. Really opening up through the shoulders today. Again, if this is too much for you or you don't have the blocks, you can take a normal puppy. Placing the hands in front of you on the mat and just melting your chest towards the floor. Now, gently come up, maybe shifting forward a little, placing the blocks to the side, maybe to the side of or middle of your mat here, because we'll be placing our hands to the outside of our mats in a little bit. Let's shift forward, come to lie onto your belly here, forehead on the mat, engage those legs, kneecaps lift, take both hands to either side of your mat, coming onto fingertips here, inhale, lift up the chest, exhale, fold. Inhale, peel that chest off the floor, open up the heart, and exhale, slowly floating it down with control here. One more time, inhale, come up, exhale, come to bring the forehead on the mat. Good job. Now place the hands palm face down, flat on either side of you, kind of like a T shape here. From here, keeping the top foot of your right foot on the floor here, you're going to take the left leg, left toe tips to outside of the right leg here for a scorpion stretch. So keep that right hip anchored into the ground. Come back to neutral, bring those left toes where they were, and let's just take it to the other side. So bringing right toes to the outside of the left hip. And bring it back to where you were. Place the palms underneath the shoulders, curl those toes under. Lift up gently to a tabletop first, and then up to our first downward facing dog. Maybe pedal it out in our first down dog, bending through one knee and then the other, and switch. Pressing chest towards the thighs here. If you need a place to bend in the knees, you can definitely do that. Bring both feet together. Inhale, lift through the right leg. Open up the hip. So bend the knee, open up that knee towards the sky, but keeping those shoulders squared to the front of the mat. Exhale, draw that knee into the chest. Step it forward. Spin to come at about a 30-degree angle with that back foot here. Rise up, warrior one. Hips are squared to the front. Take both hands, interlace them behind your back. If you need more space, you can release the palms from each other. Inhale, let's lift our chest just a little bit. And exhale, fold. Strong legs here, guys. Inhale, slowly come back up. Strong, strong, strong. Release the hands, straighten through the front leg. Maybe step it up a couple inches if you need to here. Straighten through the front leg. Inhale, nice long spine. Exhale, fold. And breathe here for just a moment. Place a little bend in the front knee. Turn those back toes in to come to a runner's lunge first. And then just step that back foot back and take it through your first vinyasa, wherever you are at in your practice. And I'll meet you in downward facing dog. Now inhale, lift up the left leg. Bend the knee, open the hip. Remember, don't splay those shoulders to the side. Nice strong arms here. Exhale, shift it forward. Step that foot through. Spin to bring your back foot at about a 30 or 40 degree angle here. And rise up strong for warrior one. Inhale, relax the shoulders. And then clasp both hands behind you. Inhale, little lift in the chest. And exhale, folding down. Make sure your front knee stays over that ankle. Slowly rise up. You got it. Not easy to do. Release the hands from each other. Maybe step up that back foot a couple inches, straighten through the front leg. Make sure your hips stay squared here. It's easy to kind of shift in these positions. Nice long spine first. Inhale and exhale, fold it forward. Really tuning into your breath. Place a bend in the front knee here. Turn those back toes in. Step it back to plank. And through your vinyasa one more time. Bend those elbows for chaturanga. Flip to your up dog or cobra. And as always, I'll meet you in downward facing dog. Pressing the chest towards the thighs here. Being mindful of every little movement. Connecting our breath. Inhale, lift up the right leg. Bend the knee, open the hip. Exhale, shift it forward. Knee into chest. Step it through. Drop the back knee, uncurl the toes. Rise up for low lunge. And take cactus arms. Opening up through the chest. Just a quick one here. Floating hands back to the ground. Shift the hip back. Over the back knee. Straighten the front leg. Flex through that foot. For a half split. And then shift it forward, bending through that front knee one more time. Curl the back toes under, plant the palms, lift up the back knee, send it back to plank. From here, spin to the pinky toe edge of your right foot. Strong right arm here. Left arm comes up to the sky, feet are stacked. Lift up the hips for a nice strong side plank. Breathe. And then slowly bring that palm down to the ground. Send it back to downward facing dog. Good job. Let's just take it right to the other side here. So lift up, inhale, left leg to the sky, bend the knee, open the hip. On an exhale, shift forward, knee into chest, flex through that front foot, step it through. Back knee comes down, uncurl the toes, rise up for low lunge, and then cactus arms. Inhaling, opening the chest, and then floating back down, shifting the hips back, straightening the front leg to come to a half split. Make sure this front foot is flexed here. And I like to come to fingertips here if this is too much. Sometimes fists help if my wrists are a little sore. Or in any position such as plank or the side plank, sometimes it helps. shift forward. Curl the back toes under, lift up the back knee, send that front foot back to plank. Nice strong plank, core engaged. And then swing to the pinky toe edge of your left foot. Strong left arm, lift up the right to the sky, hips lift. One deep breath. And then float it down. Chaturanga wherever you are at in your practice. And I'll meet you in downward facing dog. Press the chest towards the thighs. Inhale. Right leg lifts up high to the sky. Exhale, shift forward. Knee into chest. Flex through that front foot. Step it through. Rise up. Right where you were at for crescent. So inhale. Exhale, smile. You're doing a really good job. And then on your next exhale, bring your right hand back to the back thigh. Inhale, look up. Exhale, float both hands down. Maybe step up a couple inches, straighten through the front leg. Send the front hip back. So you might feel a stretch in this hamstring here. And then place a little bend in the knee, plant both palms, come back to plank. Nice strong plank here. Inhale. Exhale, spin to the pinky toe edge of your right foot, side plank. Right where you were. Maybe look up. If you would like to take Wild Thing, if that's in your practice, go for it. You can bring your left toe tips out behind you and send the right fingertips or left fingertips out to the back of your head. Lift up the hips. Maybe you give yourself a little smile. And slowly come down to plank. From plank, shift it back to downward facing dog. Deep breaths here. Staying here for 3 breaths. And then root this right heel into the ground. Left leg lifts up. Inhale. Exhale, bend the knee, shift it forward. Knee into chest. Flex through that foot, step it through. Inhale. Nice and slow, up to high lunge. Relax the shoulders. Send the back, this left hand to the back thigh here. Inhale, look up. Exhale, windmill, both hands down. Plant the palms, maybe step up that back foot just a little bit, straighten through the front leg. So this is a great spot for blocks too. So if you ever need to bring your blocks in this position, this is how I use them. Just to kind of keep a nice long spine so that it's easier for me to breathe here. And you still get the same great stretch in the back of this leg. Now place a little bend in that front knee. Plant the palms, step it back for plank. Nice strong plank. Spin to the pinky toe edge of your left foot. Lift up the right hand, lift up the hips. And if you would like to take Wild Thing on the other side, send the right toes behind you, lift up the hips. Send the hand out. Look up. And slowly come down. Back to plank and chaturanga your version. Meeting me in downward facing dog. Good job. Drop the knees, uncurl the toes, and send it back for child's pose. Woohoo! Let's take one big inhale together, filling up the lungs, and sigh it out. You did it. Take this moment to rest. And then when you're ready, use your hands to gently press you up to seated. Swing the legs out around in front of you. Bring the soles of the feet to the mat. Bend through the knees and slowly take the torso back. So option to stay here. If you want to come a little deeper, lift up the shins to be parallel to the ceiling here, and send each hand out on either side of you. Now you can stay here if this is comfortable for you, but if you really want to challenge yourself today, go ahead and straighten the legs. Much more difficult. Gently drop the feet. Come to slowly roll one vertebrae at a time onto your back. Find a position where you are comfortable here. Keep soles of the feet on the mat though. And we're going to shimmy the shoulders underneath us. Lift up the hips. Interlace the hands underneath us. So lift up the hips. Make sure there is a little space in between your chin and your chest. You don't want to be digging your chin into your chest. So maybe look like a tad either right in front of you at the ceiling or a little bit behind you. And pull those heels towards the hips. Active bridge. To take it further, press down deeply into your left foot. And maybe lift up the right knee, straighten the leg. Lift up the hips a little higher. And then gently drop that foot to the floor. Let's take it to the other side. Lifting up the hips, putting your weight into your right foot here. And then bending through the left knee and straightening the leg. Little more lift. And good job. Bring that sole back down. Uninterlace. Unshimmy. Take a moment to take one big breath. And then we are going to take wheel. So if wheel is in your practice, definitely join me here. Keeping both soles of the feet on the floor. Bring both palms to either side of your ears. And fingertips face towards the front of your mat, so away from your face. Inhale. Lift up the hips. Lift up the head. Come to the top of your head. No weight in the head. You're lifting up strong with your arms and your legs here. On the next inhale, lift up everything. Take your full wheel. To find a little more space, maybe lift up the heels of the feet here. Pressing the chest up towards the sky and forward. And gently, slowly, mindfully come back down to lie onto your back. Good job. You have made it through the most difficult parts of this flow, unless Shavasana is difficult for you. Bring both knees into the chest. Maybe give it a little pumping action. And then baby circles, moving one way. And then another. Flex through both feet. See if you can grab a hold of the outsides of your feet with your hand here. Feet. And send your knees out outside the torso, past your armpits here. Gently pull down on the heels as your heels are a little bit pressing back into those hands here. Breathe deeply here. And then bring both knees back into the chest. Use your left hand to guide both of them to the left side. Right arm comes at a cactus arm on this other side. And you can look up or towards that right arm. Start to release maybe any breathing techniques you were using. Relax the shoulders, soften through the face. And then bring both knees back into the chest. Give them a little squeeze and use your right hand to guide them to the right side. Left hand comes palm face up, cactus arm to the left side here. Looking up or towards that left arm. Letting your shoulders melt into the mat. Come back to center, bringing both knees into the chest, giving them one more hug, and then we're going to send out both legs to either side of our mat. Gentle flop to take Shavasana. Bring palms on either side of you, palm face up. Maybe adjust the hips or the shoulders if you need to, finding a really comfortable spot so that you can stay here for a moment. Really feel the earth support you here as your body gets glued down and melts into the mat. Maybe unclench the jaw, release the tongue from the roof of the mouth, soften through the eyes, through the forehead, releasing any types of breathing you were doing, just letting yourself fully relax and be in this moment. Taking this time to just be present and just be. So, option to stay here, or if you're ready to come out of Shavasana with me, gently bring one knee into the chest, keeping the eyes closed, and then the other. Roll onto one side. Stay here for just a moment. And then use your hand to press you up to seated. Maybe slowly blinking the eyelids open, noticing the color of the room, the sounds around you. Thank you so much for joining me today, Yogi. I hope that you enjoyed this flow. Please let me know how it went for you, and namaste. See you next time.